Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, so Dream Channel is inspired. Well, it was an inspiration from Black Mirror. I watch a lot of Black Mirror and Blade Runner and those types of not so bad movies. And I kind of saw that just related to what I was talking about before. The metaverse needed a concept that we could engage with, that felt kind of science fiction, kind of unreal, but kind of like satisfied a lot of things. So basically, what Dream Channel is, it's a Web3 AI engine that rewards AI generative avatars, which are generated by ourselves, to build the metaverse. That's how it works. Now, how it works is that you literally use your phone, you scan your face with a phone, and you pick one of these 26 tribes that are fighting to own the metaverse. That's kind of the game, right? And then basically you join one of those, and then what happens is that then you then tailor your avatar to your personality. So essentially, you create an alter ego of some kind. Looks like you, but isn't quite you. You know, it's your new profile in the metaverse, right? Okay, and then this guy or girl or whatever it is, at night when you go to sleep, journeys into metaverse and explores it, right? When I say, where does it go? Initially, it goes to real world locations and things and drops a token, Pokemon Go style, to different locations that you've been to. So, like, say I go to the beach quite often, or I go wherever I go, it drops tokens there, which are doorways to my metaverse space. And in that space, you'll find me, my avatar is in there, standing there. You can meet me, and then any kind of videos or content I want to put in there about myself. So it creates a kind of mechanic for when I'm not, it's a passive, persistent world that we're creating where my avatar, which is kind of a version of me, is going and doing all these things and spreading, access to my metaverse profile when I'm not even thinking about it. Right? I can do it. I can also do it. I can do it manually. I can send it. I can send a token to you right now, or I can send a token to a location in New York. And if someone finds that token, it's a wormhole back to my metaverse space where they can see who I am. So it creates this kind of global treasure hunt type vibe, to get the ball rolling. But then, to kind of go to the next stage, what happens when you find my token and you access my space and you see my avatar standing there? Well, you can fight me, for tokens. You can watch me do a performance, whatever it is. So there's a number of things you can do to create transactions, right? So the first, I guess, the first way we're pushing this forward, because everyone can kind of understand it, is that we're creating this avatar fighting game that kind of all the avatars can fight, right? So not everyone wants to fight, but they can, right? So in other words, you find my avatar. My avatar might be trained in jujitsu. Your avatar is trained in karate, and they have a fight, and there's a winner, and the winner gets tokens. So that's kind of like the sort of game to get things going. But that fight could also be breakdancing, and breakdance moves. So the business model is that you train your avatar to not only be like you, like it's a version of me with a personality, based on a personality matrix which we've created, but also it has fight moves and things which I buy for it. So I train it right in a particular style of fighting, and so yeah, it fights in a way I wish I could fight, and it acts in a way that maybe is a bit like me, but maybe not, and that's the beginning of the distribution of this engine. So I call it a Web3 AI engine as opposed to a game. It's not really a game; it's gamified. A lot of things in there are gamified, but it's not actually just a game. It's actually there's a social aspect to it. There's a metaverse building aspect to it, and yeah, and we've been building in stealth for the last couple of years, and we're just starting to release it now. That's kind of the elevator pitch.
Damn, that is a lot to unpack. It's certainly an ambitious idea. I would certainly have to, kind of hands-on experience, my avatar kicking everyone else's ass. But, so basically, I think that there's a lot of like kind of fun bits to here, like kind of the avatars, the kind of battle royale aspect or whatever. But basically, like anytime I talk to any project, I always kind of want to get to like the heart, nuts and bolts of the conversation, right? And I think that this space actually, the conversation we had that led to this one is kind of, people's concerns with the metaverse, people defining the metaverse, people, and I do feel that this conversation has come to the surface because, the bull run of 21 was kind of the bull run of promise, bull run of it's going to be great. And I think this next bull run will be the bull run of, okay, what do you got? What, and so what I'm building to here is, what about this project in particular, like in your opinion, that separates it from, the projects in the past that maybe did not succeed, or maybe they will succeed eventually, but just kind of what, is the determination of like what the separator from, like,
Yep.
the promise, because people, yeah, yeah, at face value, a lot of people that have followed NFTs, these types of projects. It hasn't been all peaches and cream up the street, and we are kind of going into this new run optimistic. For a lot of some projects won't. We are kind of graphic has now. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah. Yeah.
important self, and that is.
Sure. I mentioned before, the metaverse kind of what underpins this entire, engine is a payment system. We have a payment system that's been literally, created for Web3 and the metaverse and to solve a problem, right? The payment system is not just like basic payments. It's based on attention. So what happens is the way it works is that in any immersive environment, whether it's AR or VR or even just online, my engagement, the audience engagement with anything that's going on creates a transaction. Okay, so in other words, you visit my metaverse space and you see my avatar standing there. Your eye gaze, on that avatar generates a transaction, right? So what you end up with is an attention-driven economy, where basically, there's transactions going left and right based on what I look at and who looks at me, and this creates an economy based around. Obviously, we're all aware of what attention economies are, but that payment system, we call it eye gaze. It kind of underpins the whole way this works, right? So, we're playing the game, I'm fighting, whatever I'm doing, my avatar is actually trending up and down based on how much attention it's generating, which is creating value and creating all kinds of. It's relevant to how the web works in all different ways, right? Through ranking systems, etc. But this time it's actually attached to payments. So the attention I'm generating directly correlates with tokens I'm earning. So I think that's a big important point in this. And what the aim of that is to actually allow, anyone can use that payment system. It's underpinning this particular engine as we go forward. But the idea is that anybody else could say, using a simple API, could just, oh, I like that idea. That payment system's good. People are paying for people are earning for what the attention they're generating. But the most important thing, next part of that is advertisers are only paying for actual engagement. So in other words, our model would be, I'm a DJ, I send my token, Pokemon Go style, to the nightclub that I played at last night. People find the token, they find my DJ set playing in my room, they listen to it. Great. That could have a sponsor on the wall, right? Call it Red Bull, call it whoever, right? That sponsor does not pay so basically the user's engagement triggers a payment. The DJ gets paid for the amount of engagement that the user has. So that way, the advertiser only pays for actual engagement as well. So the model is sort of like double barreled in that it's actually allowing users to earn, for the actual attention they generate. But it's also making sure that advertisers only pay for that exact engagement. So it's got this ad mechanic. So that's probably the thing that underpins the whole thing, right? There's this great, and you don't know about it. That's the whole point. You don't want users to think, oh, well, they don't really need to know, how the advertising thing's working. They just know, oh, wow, I triggered an ad. I went to that DJ's, room and I listened to his track, and and the DJ is sponsored. Great, awesome. And then for the amount of money that the sponsor pays the DJ, I got a clip, right? So I'm earning clips for things I'm doing off advertisers. Cool. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we did. The most differentiating point, I think, in what we're doing. We actually have thought it right down to that level. Yep.
Right on. Yeah, that's really interesting. And I was reading through, the notes on the platform, and you were talking about there's something with your token project, your token, and this battle royale format. Like, so basically, we can train. So it can be like, whoa, I know kung fu, and be like, I know kung fu, and then I can go into a battle royale, and then I can steal your tokens. Like, how's that work?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I kind of figured that again, there's all these different levels, but it would be good to have a uniting kind of tournament that basically brings everything together in every chapter, if you want to call it that. And the idea is that so basically I can buy tokens and fight you, and then you can beat me and you can win my tokens. That's basic, right? But what happens is that over time, there's a ranking system, right? And so in every chat, we call it a chapter, but at the end of every chapter, the top 32 ranked avatars fight it out in this battle royale. Okay, and then what happens is that we release our tokens, so basically our AI Dreams tokens. The release of the tokens is scheduled. We're releasing them over 25 battle royale events, over 25 chapters, if you know what I mean. So every time we have a battle royale, there's a number of tokens that are released, and then people fight it out. The top 32 fight it out for the top prize, the top pool prize. But audiences can basically back the avatars they want to see win and earn bonuses based on who they back. And then at the end, there's a token pool which is allocated pro rata based on who you backed and how well they went. So it's kind of like an interesting way of releasing tokens into the ecosystem rather than just sort of saying, hey, here are some more for sale and running a sale. Every time we release more tokens and do another token release, it's almost like it's their battle royale tokens. This is how you get them. You can either back people who are in the final, they win and double triple your tokens by backing them, or you can hopefully get into it yourself and win it. So it's kind of like a more gamified mechanic for releasing tokens into the ecosystem over a period of time. Yeah, that's what it is.
Wow, man. I to be honest with you, this is one of those ideas that I hear you, but I feel like I'm going to have to experience it myself to really for
Yeah,
the light
yeah.
bulb to go off. I mean, I can explain
Okay.
skateboarding until I'm blue in the face, but until you go to the skate park, you're not really going to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Especially
got
when you're
it.
battling avatars and there's all the, it's like explaining a video game. It would make a lot more sense if you played it for 5 minutes. You would immediately, intuitively understand more of the situation. So
I'll, I'll put a video. I'll put a video link into the comments so you can
yeah, that'd be
see.
great. That'd be
Because
great.
the beauty of AR, right? Because think about it more as an AR thing, not a VR thing or a PC thing, right? And as an AR thing, it's a lot simpler, a lot easier to understand. Because in an AR experience, I'm looking at a like a at a fight zone. It's not going to be very big, and there's only going to be you and me there, right? And so we're and you and me slug it out, right? So it's kind of like that's kind of it's quite simplified, really, how I engage with another person in a fight, right? So it gets more complex when you start looking at greater game worlds and stuff. So just think of it like that. Think of it as an AR experience, and I'll find a video now and I'll put it into the chat.
Perfect.
And that's probably the best
That
way
is
to
so
do it.
good.
Yep.
Love that. And
Yep.
as we're rounding up the time here, we're getting close to the end. Make sure, folks, if you're interested, look through the conversations and the comments. There's some really good stuff. Creative Al put some really cool metaverse documentation in there from Deloitte and some other stuff. Great. And also, Johnny, there's some great comments there. Lady Trader Raw, if you have some questions for Johnny, make sure to hit him offline there. Want to give Johnny at Dream Channel one final question here about where would you like people to connect with you, and what is the final thing that you would like people to know as we leave this great space?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's obviously quite a complex project, and I'm kind of every time I talk, it seems to get more complex. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to release there's a digital series that runs at the top of this whole thing, right? So episode 1, 2, 3, 4, like a normal sci-fi series. Every time we release an episode, that's like the beginning of a chapter. Okay, so we're going to release episode 1 in the coming weeks, and so that's how I want everyone to engage. I want you to watch the episode, and you'll earn coins, or you'll at least be in the you'll earn a bonus for watching the episode, and that'll give you the episodes have got this kind of like overview of what this whole concept's all about. They're narrative, they're science fiction, but they're about what I just told you about. So yeah, that's how we're going to do it. So I'm going to distribute episode 1 pretty shortly. People can watch that, and then that's this kind of starting point. And then the next bit is, if you like the vibe, would be to download our AR app, which is just a demo at the moment because it's just on the App Store. So it's more like you can get the vibe, you can generate an avatar, you can fight someone, you can see how the kind of like the mechanics work. A web version of that is coming out, which obviously is blockchain driven. So yeah, but that's for the starting point. Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you so much. And we like your vibe, Johnny. We appreciate that. And everyone, if you're listening, if you want to be a part of the Mario Nawfal's new Discord, we're looking for more citizen journalists. So go ahead and check that. It's pinned up at the very top. We're always looking for amazing people like Johnny. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing all about Dream Channel. It sounds interesting. AJ, any other final words?
Man, that's really all I got, dude. I really appreciate you coming on the space. Everyone, make sure you go give a follow to Dream Channel AI. Right there, they're on a speaker on the space right now in the bio. It says Black Mirror inspired Web3 AI engine. I just gave them a follow, so you should too. So that's all I got, man. I hope everyone has a safe rest of your day. Travis, appreciate you holding it down with me. Get rich or get wrecked. Talk soon, everybody.